Faf, what were the sort of feelings when you went out to bat? Obviously, AB on the other side, school friend and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was very honest, very nervous before I went out. Probably the more nervous I've been was making my one-day debut for the first time playing for South Africa. Just sitting there waiting to go into bat because Graham obviously got the review, so it takes a couple of minutes where you sit there, you don't know if you're going in. And then I had an absolute shocker going down the stairs. My boot clipped one of the stairs and my whole foot came out. And I had to kneel in front of the whole crowd there while they were abusing me from both sides. And my shoelaces were tied and my pad was in the way, so I couldn't get my foot back in. So I was thinking, I'm going to get timed out here, I need to do something. My foot slipped in three quarters of the way, and I said, I'm just going to have to run under the boot like this. I'll sort it out when I get there. Then my first step hit another step and I almost tripped. So the crowd I gave the crowd some nice abuse factory there for myself. But when I got in, I just said, it can't go worse than that.
Were the crowd a little different in their reactions when you came back in after making 78?
Yeah, they were much, much better. But look, in all honesty, I would have abused myself as well when I was tripping down the stairs there.
You at number 7, you probably have to be a bit of a bridging between the tail and the batsman. And then with Jacques Callis still coming into bat, the tail came out first. Was it a little bit difficult in that period? And also when Jacques came to bat, was the injury sort of weighing on your mind? Maybe we can't run too many singles.
Yeah, firstly I was sitting there on the side and I was eyeing the situation up, and I could see that I just felt I was going to come in round the second new ball, because we had 1 wicket left, and the way the game has been going, the new ball strikes, and which had happened. I went in the 77 over, I think. It was nice to come in there with a familiar face, in AB, like you said, and then he got out. And then it was just for me to try and hang around with the tail, I said to myself, just bat normally. For us, it's just a case of being batting and spending time in the middle. Runs is important, but it's almost more important just to occupy the crease, and the runs will come. And then when Jar came, obviously the nice thing for me was his experience that he brought for me in my first test. Just to ask him, I had a few questions I threw his way today, which he was great in helping me. But it was quite tough because I couldn't just get singles all the way because I really thought of his injury, and he can't sprint too much. And that was a challenge in itself. It felt for me at one stage that it was a case of either a dot ball or a boundary. But luckily after a couple of overs we settled into that, and you kind of get used to just. It's actually quite nice because you just stroll, running between the wickets, because normally I run up and down like a fool. So it was nice to take a chill for a bit.
Faf, do you think that's a fair rule that you can't have a runner?
It's a tough one, I think in a case like today with Jacques, my personal opinion is that you should be able to have a runner. But I understand the law has changed, and we as cricketers have just got to get on with it, I suppose.
How do you read the game situation? You blokes back in it? Good chance to win?
I think what we did tonight, or in this last session, was exactly what we needed to still have a sniff in the game. And we did that, so we're still in with a chance, which is great, because if they just went at 4.5 runs and over with no wickets, we would have been under massive pressure. So at the moment, we're still in, yes.
It's been a really tough match for Imran, and the wicket off the no ball, I imagine, was probably just made it even worse for him. What is the team doing to try and help him through this?
We back Imi 100%. I've played a lot of cricket with Imi, and I don't say that because it's a norm you normally say about a teammate, but I know what Imi can do. He's a wicket taker, and we saw that he bowled a good 4 or 5 overs. He was asking a lot of questions. For him, it's just a case of stringing a couple of overs together where he gets that rhythm and that confidence going again. And then he can still play a massive part. He can really, tomorrow, because he's dangerous out the rough there, so we really do need him. And like I say, he's a couple of overs away from just getting that confidence of the ball coming out nicely. I'm a leg spinner. I know that sometimes your hand feels like a claw when the ball's coming out of your hand. But he is a fantastic spinner, so I back him to the hilt.
The other end of the scale is, of course, Rory Kleinfeldt this afternoon. knocks over the top order. Looks like a different bowler from Brisbane, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. Once he's settled in now, he's more relaxed. I think as a bowler, if you make your debut, you can maybe feel a bit sensitive sometimes because it's a step up. And Rory has done that, what he's done today, for years now in domestic cricket. He's got skill to swing the ball both ways, and he hits the deck really hard. So, great spell of bowling there from him.
Is he just a happier chap after that? Have you had a word with him?
I would be happy if I bowled like that, but yeah, he's definitely much happier. He's been bowling really well. When we talk to him as batters in the nets, I faced him quite a bit this week, and he was probably the best bowler the whole week. He just kept asking questions, so you could see that it was there. He just needed to see it for himself, and then I'm sure that will give him a lot of confidence.
Not everything's gone right this summer for you, but you've been able to consistently break through the Australian top order. What have you been able to do that has been getting you that sort of domination over some world-class batsmen?
I think it's we've got world-class bowlers as well. And like you said, it hasn't gone like we would have planned. The Australians have really batted well and put us under pressure. But we are still managing to break through that top order, which is a massive positive sign. Now we just got to work out how to get these two out because they can occupy the crease, Hussey and Clark.
They've been going all right, but do you feel as though you have a mental edge now over the Australian top order?
I suppose as a bowling unit they can feel that way. But we still want to we've always been a side that takes 20 wickets. So for us, we're a little bit short in getting the rest of the wickets. If we get a team under pressure, we want to make sure we keep them under pressure. And that's one thing that tomorrow morning is going to be really important for us to do, is to make sure we've once again put ourselves in a situation where the batting side is under pressure. So now we've got to finish it off.